I was asking myself this one question. Why can Barca spend so much money while not even being able to register Dani Olmo in January of 2025? Out of nowhere, they are buying Anthony Gordon for 80 million euros and still being in close contact with top players like Julian Alvarez or Joško Gvardiol. A club that had to celebrate weddings in their stadium to make some extra money is now being one of the top spenders in Europe again. This is how they did it and how this one genius man not only saved them once, but twice. Before telling you how they came out of those difficult financial years, I want to start in the beginning. It was the year 2003, and Barca started losing its identity. It seemed like the glory days were over, but it was also the year of the first presidency of Joan Laporta, the man who would change everything. He believed in long-term vision and not only short-term success. After hiring Frank Rijkaard as the new first-team manager and signing a 23-year-old Brazilian guy who would bring joy and excitement back to the Camp Nou, Barcelona started building a fresh identity, and they not only won 2 La Liga titles, but also after 14 years of waiting for another Champions League trophy, they won it again. Laporta's decisions were already a success, but what happened next, nobody could even dream of. After Rijkaard left, Barca needed a new manager, and most of the people wanted something safe. Someone who already had experience on the big stage, which would bring even more glory to the club. But Laporta decided to take the gamble. He took someone who already had the experience on the big stage at Barcelona, but only as a player. He promoted a 36-year-old Pep Guardiola from the second team to be the next manager. His approach to building a team was different to Rijkaard's approach. Pep was built around La Masia talents, just how we will see it later in the story. With players like Messi and Iniesta, he developed a beautiful tiki-taka football. With short, fast-paced passes, many people nowadays think that those little magicians played the most beautiful ball we have ever seen on a football pitch. It's really one of the most influential eras of football history. It not only looked beautiful, it was efficient. They have won 14 trophies in 4 seasons, and Pep was able to win 6 major trophies in a single season. But all good times had to end, and in 2010, Laporta left the club. While his good decisions still had an impact for a few years, the disaster was about to come. After Laporta left, Barca had leadership problems, and it would all start with the transfer of Neymar Jr. The current president was Sandro Rosell, and Neymar as a player was not the problem. But maybe you remember the scandal about the transfer fee. The official number was 57 million and the real number was closer to 95 million. That's why Rosell had to go. And the next big mistake came. Josep Maria Bartomeu. His strategy to lead the club was a little unconventional. He spent 400 million for 3 players, Felipe Coutinho, Ousmane Dembélé and Antoine Griezmann. They not only did not perform, but also had massive player salaries that were revealed during COVID. The club sold all of them together for 90 million euros. If you ask me, maybe it was not the best investment. This poor management and reckless spending created a massive financial catastrophe for the club. The peak of all drama was the 8-2 loss against Bayern Munich, where they were humiliated. Of course, when the main star of the club wanted to leave, the bad noises started getting louder. Messi tried to get out of the club, and at that moment, the fans were furious. Those times needed a hero, and there was only one man who could save the club. Laporta came back as the president of Barcelona in March of 2021, tried everything to keep Lionel Messi at the club. A major salary reduction, and this time, Messi even wanted to stay to save his club. But La Liga rules prevented registration, and I think we all remember the moment when they announced that Messi would leave the club. It was a disaster. Every Barcelona fan was heartbroken, and it started a new era of the club. Laporta had to build the club from the ruins. He had to generate immediate cash, so he sold TV rights, which raised more than 500 million euros. He also sold nearly half of the media business, which generated 200 million euros. He had to sacrifice the future income of the club to save its presence. But money alone could not save the club. Some other big problems had to be tackled. The team was not performing, and they couldn't spend that much to rebuild it. I will show you how they solved this problem and came back to glory. Laporta did it once and he did the same thing again. An inexperienced manager from the second team who also played in midfield for Barcelona in his own professional career. The new manager was Xavi Hernandez, and the goals were clear: restore the club's identity and rebuild confidence. Xavi didn't have many options, so he put all of his trust into La Masia players. Young players like Gavi, Balde, Kubasi, or Yamal got a chance to play. Players love the club and can identify with the fans, which was a massive step in the right direction. The money they saved from the previous seasons was spent on some major signings that would help the team in future seasons. Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Jules Koundé helped them win the La Liga in 2023, which was the first major title after Messi left. So you would think Barca's on top again and this is the happy end. But the performance started to fall, and Laporta had to make the hard decision that Xavi would leave the club so they can get to the next level. Xavi played a major role in bringing Barca back to glory, but he couldn't get them to the next step. Therefore, they needed someone better. With Hansi Flick as the manager, Barca was reborn. The talents from La Masia started getting used to senior football, and they improved everything. Crazy to imagine that La Masia almost created a whole team on the best level in the world. Kubasi, Balde, Fermin, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, these players would die for the club, and that's why they performed that way. They already won the domestic treble, and there is more to come. Joan Laporta was the man that saved the club twice, while other presidents made bad decisions. And Barca couldn't spend the money they earned because of financial fair play rules of La Liga. Because of these decisions Laporta made for the club, Barca is now able to buy players like Anthony Gordon or Julian Alvarez. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to get notified about upcoming football videos.